Today, let's discuss the African American album. So, on this project, it is 16 tracks that you're going to be able to get in WAV and MP3 format, and also all the lyrics are actually typed up. This was the first time I did not mix and master this my own project. So I produced all the records, and then I went to Toby Meeks, who mixed the project, and it was also mastered by It's Big Dev. And this is the first time in my life where I paid for somebody to mix and master my own project. So this was a cool experience. So this project was recorded in 2018. Some of the records were recorded in 2017, but the bulk of them were recorded in 2018. So this is after the Nothing to Lose era. This is after the true rap era, the rhythm and poetry era, the Starmello era. This is me going solo basically at this point, because everybody kind of stopped doing music, and I'd never put out a solo project this whole entire time. So throughout this whole decade that I'm talking about, from 2007 to about 2017, 2018, I'd never put out my own project. Everything's been a collaborative project up until that point, where I had solo records, but those records were for a bigger project, including other artists and other records. So this was my first attempt at doing something like this. This project includes the banger Do or Die and a couple of other bangers as well. For Do or Die, Yende ATL helped me shoot that video. Yende also shot the Rolling Through the City video. Now, how did I meet Yende was through Legend. So Legend was living with me at the time, and I'm talking to Legend. I'm like, yo, I need to put some music out myself. Things aren't working out. I'm frustrated. I'm highly upset with life. Let's just put it that way. So I'm highly upset with life. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and just go at it myself. I linked up with Legend. Legend came and stayed with me, and he knew Yende. So he knew a photographer and videographer. So that's how me and Yende linked up and made history. So for this project, I'm on I want to say on my third laptop. So things slowed up for me because for like the second time, I got the green screen of death. For everybody who knows electronics, the green screen of death is when your motherboard completely craps out. There's no saving it. Nobody's willing to touch it or fix it because it's impossible. You've got to basically get a brand new computer. You got to get a whole new motherboard, which is basically buying a brand new computer, right? So I got this laptop, and then I wanted to change up my system. So this is the time I went almost fully production wise. I went from Reason to Logic, and this was the era where I purchased Complete Ultimate 8. So I think Complete was the latest version at that time. So I bought Complete specifically to do this album, just so that you know the context of how much money I spent. I spent a lot of money. So I had to get a new laptop. I bought Logic, Complete. I paid for mixing and mastering on top of that. So this was a giant project for me. I was really pushing this one. I had big dreams and big hopes for this one. Let's just put it that way. Initially, this was supposed to be a Afrobeats reggae album. This is when I was supposed to be trying to figure out my sound and like what my signature sound for me is supposed to be. So that's how the title African American came about. It's supposed to be a mixture of hip hop with Afrobeat and dancehall and probably some reggae as well. So that's how that title came about. For anybody who's wondering, why would I name an album African American? That's where that title comes from, because that's what the music is supposed to be, and that's today still my signature sound. So that's why I sound different on this album than I have done on previous albums, because there's no trap music, and there's no boom bap, there's no R&B. It's just the vibes, the true vibes, the natural vibes of what I'm supposed to and what I envision myself and how I'm supposed to be and where I'm supposed to go and want to be in my life. Lessons learned from this project so that you can understand the gravity of this. This is the first time I tried to build a project and learn how to actually build a proper album. So we attempted an album before this with the rhythm and poetry era. That didn't work out. So I knew for this project, I needed to do at least 30 to 60 records. The goal was about, I believe I wanted to do about 40 records, and I think I did about 36, if I'm not mistaken. And I picked 16 because I wanted an album, because traditionally an album is supposed to be 45 minutes. That's what I heard and like that's why albums were around that timing. 45 minutes to an hour. That's how major labels did it. So that's where that concept come from. I'm just do 16 tracks, about 3 minutes a piece, and you get close to or around or above 45 minutes. So this was my first true wholehearted attempt at it for myself. And I want to say I, for the most part, did pretty well. There's some records that could be taken off of this, honestly, if I thought about it, if I sat with the music a little longer. But I was just, at the time, I'm just going, trying to just figure things out. Nobody's guiding me. I'm producing, I'm recording and everything. So it's just, one, always record a high count of records. So you want to do between 30 to about 60 records. That way you can just pick the best. Two, type up all your lyrics. So this is the first time I actually typed up all my lyrics for every song that I recorded. So as I'm recording, I'm typing up the lyrics as well. That way in the future, if somebody want to do karaoke with my music or something like that, the lyrics are there out there in the world so that people can, if I'm performing, they would know the lyrics. And that's where that comes from. Another thing I learned is team building, because at this point I don't have a team. Legends helping me out. So Legends, the reason why a lot of this album got done is because I needed to execute after the recording. And so Legend helped out with that one. I knew Toby from a long time ago through Donzi, because Toby is Donzi's big cousin. So that's how I knew her. And she always wanted me to come record at her studio. So this was an opportunity for me to collaborate with Toby. So shout out to Toby. I do appreciate the opportunity. I paid Toby on time. I paid her half up front and then half later. It took a while for the mixes to get done because this wasn't the style of music that she predominantly mixed. So I do want to apologize for that, but she had no problem with it. She tackled it and we got it done. So there is studio footage of me in Toby's studio while she's mixing it, playing me the rough mixes and the final mixes as well. So this was just a crazy experience. This was the first time I ever heard my music out loud in a studio. The reason why I'm as good as I am today is because I was finally able to record in a listen in a professional studio, and I can hear the mistakes. She's giving me pointers on what to do, what I did wrong, the mistakes and all that. So there's a lot of mistakes that she had to, on my part, that she had to overcome to even get this mix correctly. So learning that you want to always record your vocals in the green to the top yellow. That's where your vocals are supposed to be recorded at. And, you know, me, I'm in the high yellow. I'm peaking. I'm not thinking straight, or I'm not correcting mistakes from the past. I just knew I had to record a little lower than what I did in the past because the vocals be distorted, crapping out the microphone and all that type of stuff. So this recording was better than previous, but it wasn't perfect. And Toby had to overcome that and piece everything together. I'm using a lot of sounds. There's a lot of percussion on this album. And I still use that style to this day. Not as much percussion. I make sure I put everything in its proper place and everything has space and you can hear everything. But yeah, so it's just spacing, learning business, how to conduct and get a contract written up and invoice and all of that so that I can pass the money and pay Toby so that she can have a record for her company and all of that type of stuff. So there's a lot of lessons learned and a lot of growth personally and musically during this album. So I hope you appreciate the music. I'm going to leave the link down below. And until next time, we out.